Hey, I'm Karai. Like some Viktor content, some middling content? Consider subscribing, maybe even hitting that like button. It'll help me up a lot. And if you do, you'll get blue buff. Viktor Challenger. The only rule, I can only play Viktor. Unless it's banned, then we're playing Orianna. No Viktor jungle, no Viktor support, maybe Viktor Bali, and that's about it.
Hello friends, welcome back to another Viktor to Challenger series video. Today, again, we're gonna be talking about the laning phase. This time we are up against a Orianna. These are my rune setups. You can see that for this game, I'm still going biscuits instead of futures market. I think futures market is really good here. However, in these recent days, I want to try out biscuits a bit more, mainly because I want to play the long game, the war of attrition, where I just want to force the enemy out of their resources and last in lane a bit longer. Just so that I can force them to have a bad base and I'll get, an EXP lead and a gold lead by staying in lane longer. I also went first strike this game. I figured that the enemy doesn't really have a lot of melee champions that can stick onto me. So I figured having first strike and getting some money through first strike might be worth it. I think Gathering Storm is not too bad this game. If you like Scorch, it's not the worst. However, I like the scale. That's just my preference. One thing that I do often is that if we see the enemy invade, which we actually did this game, sometimes I like to go home and get a red trinket, mainly because if we are able to get the trinket that the enemy put down or the ward that the enemy put down, we'll hit level 2 by the first wave. But unfortunately, the enemy actually didn't put down any wards, so we didn't actually get level 2 to the first wave. By going straight into the lane, you can see that I started E, and I'm not afraid to use E and spam E, mainly because I have biscuits. And the way we want to use E is that I want to land my E on the minions and on her so that I can push the wave and also harass her at the same time. I hit level 2 here and my first strike is up, so I decide to walk up, get some first strike value here. She is level 2, but I believe her Q is on cooldown. That's why she actually didn't trade back with me. You can see that after she used her Q cooldown there, I'm not really afraid to walk up slightly. It seems like this Orianna isn't really paying attention to her cooldowns. That's why I'm able to do this where I'm just walking up, poking her into my favor. I do get some poke there because of her QE, but regardless, she's already on her first pot where I still have both of my pots up. She did went for a corrupting pot, so I assume that her Q damage, her QW damage won't be that much. I think if you went corrupting pot, you really want to land your autos and trade more often. But because she went corrupting pot, also missed the CS right there, missed the cannon right there. But because she went corrupting pot and she's not really trading like she's supposed to with autos, now she is. But before then she wasn't really trading, so she's not really getting a lot of value. Going back into the minions, I have a big wave stacking up. I know that Ekko probably started bot side, hence why I'm trying to hug towards bot side. I'm trying to just shove this in so I can actually harass Orianna even more on the turret. One thing to keep in mind is that the bigger your minion wave that's shoved into the turret, the more time you can harass them in the turret. You can see that I didn't really do it with this case because I'm a bit worried of where Ekko is. I don't really have any vision right now in the river. You can see that I'm hugging very, very closely to my Hecarim because I know if Ekko were to come around top side, I can just go straight into my bot side river and hope that Hecarim sees that I'm getting ganks. Once again, we're just continuously landing poke, and Ekko is coming. Orianna does put a ward down, and this tricks Ekko into thinking that Hecarim's not around, and Hecarim actually played it really smart. He was actually behind that little ward there so that they couldn't see Hecarim, but after Ekko committed the flash, which is really weird. I don't understand. Like, he clearly knows that I haven't burned my own flash. I'm not sure why junglers does this. You can see that later in the game that he actually does this a lot. But enough about Ekko. I could probably have base after pushing this wave. I am just a bit shy of goal Lost Chapter. I can definitely just shove this in. But because I don't have Lost Chapter, or I don't have Futures Market, I can't really just base off this wave. I would need to stay for another wave. Some of you might be laughing, well, you probably should have gotten that cannon. Yes, I know. Viktor mains, we have to get our cannons, but unfortunately, we're not, machines, we're not perfect. So, we can't really, get every cannon, but we really should. You can see that I'm trying to base here, but again, I realize, hey, I'm kind of short on gold, and because Orianna already used her TP, what Orianna should do here, after she uses TP is definitely like try to poke me or like try to shove in the wave as much as she should try to shove in the wave without getting poked, so that she can't. I have to go for a bad base, meaning that she will be able to deny me a couple of minions. But she took some poke, and I'm able to just, tank the wave here, able to collect all this minion here. So I didn't really have a bad time, finding a good recall timing. I realized this is a cannon wave. I think I actually, looking back in hindsight, I think I actually should have recalled here. But I think my mindset or my thought process was that since I'm level 6, and it seems like Orianna is playing a bit passive, and this is like reading the enemy a bit, I opted to stay for another wave and ult the next upcoming wave. Morgana does try to catch out the Orianna here, but realistically, we don't have damage, nor do we actually have the mana. And obviously, the cannon is about to die, and I prioritize the cannon over killing the enemy any day, at least in the early levels, right? So we kill the minion, we kill the cannon here, we get the next wave through my ult, and we have a wave pushed in. This allows us to safely recall without losing much EXP. Not that we're gonna lose any EXP or minions or go anyway, since we're gonna TP back. Here I believe we actually get a lost chapter, and yeah, and I'm pretty sure we TP back, and we're in a really good spot right now. 55 CS to 44. I feel really comfortable sitting in this position. You can see that Orianna actually has a tier, which tells me that she can't actually get her lost chapter anytime soon. She probably has to stay for a couple more waves, maybe 3 waves, just to get her lost chapter. It seems that I saw that Orianna is around bot side trying to clear the ward. It's really bad that she actually placed this ward because she can't actually defend it. Mid is pushed up. Perhaps this Ekko is around. They might be able to defend it. I see Dragon moving, and I'm like, wait, are they doing Dragon? I initially wanted to actually stop them, but it's just me. My bot lane's getting pushed in, so I decided against it. But you can see right now we're going back into mid, and Orianna is struggling to keep up with her mana. The way we're supposed to approach this, so the goal right now is definitely just to keep on pushing and force Orianna to spend her mana, because we know that Orianna eventually will run out of mana faster than us. So what we want to do here is just, try to poke her when the wave is on the turret, when the wave is meeting in neutral, in the middle of the lane. We want to push it because we have much more mana, and in a mage versus mage matchup, it's just really hard for the opposing mage who doesn't have a lost chapter to keep up with me. Eventually, the opposing mage would just bleed out. You can see that she's trying her hardest to try to, shield herself, use her spells to CS. And right now, she's just out of mana. She does have 2 biscuits, but I doubt those 2 biscuits can actually last her any longer. She obviously can't really... Well, she can base, and if she does base, she'll definitely lose a wave of minions and I'll get a plating. Hence why she's trying to stay in lane, even though she's bleeding out. There's really there's no winning situation for her right now. The only winning situation is that if she didn't die earlier, that's her, only way to have prevented this. But right now, as of what's happening right now, I'm just constantly pushing in the wave, constantly, bleeding her out, playing the slow game, as I said earlier when I'm setting my runes. We're playing the attrition game, the wall of attrition, where right now, because I know she has no mana, I'm trying to slowly bleed her out of mana, of losing minions and losing health under a turret, as well as trying to take platings from her. This time, because it's a cannon wave, I know the minions will actually stay a bit longer under a turret. I decided to go into their jungle to check if the Raptors is up. And if the Raptor is up, it's probably much better for me to actually take Raptors than to do, 50, maybe 100 damage onto Orianna. The way I see it is that if I can take Raptors, not only am I gaining gold, but I'm also denying the enemy Ekko or the enemy jungler from getting EXP and gold, which shoots me ahead. So it's like it's a double win situation right now, right? Because she's low on mana, I'm not afraid to walk up. I know she can't usually use her ult. I believe she actually burned her flash earlier in the Hecarim engage. So I'm not really afraid of her trying to outplay me. She doesn't really have any potential to outplay me with the amount of mana she had. So already at this point, it's I believe it's 9 minutes, 90 CS, almost 10 CS per minute. We're doing pretty well for ourselves. We're just trying to shove this wave, and I'm pretty sure we just go for a base here. Yep. So coming back to base, or coming back from base rather, we have a really good buy here. We already got a mythic, and at this stage, there's Orianna is just really behind. I believe she actually only has her lost chapter. She has 78 farm, and again, this is all due to the fact that I was able to poke her early on, not worry about running out of mana by constantly spamming E. You can see that right now I'm just trying to, just a little shortcut, but like I'm just trying to deny the enemy jungler by his raptors. But I decided to not do it because I'm not sure where the Ekko is, and clearly Orianna can catch me out easily. I don't really want to give any opportunities for the enemy to catch me. But going back to the biscuits theory is that with biscuits, I can definitely harass the enemy more. I still like futures market. It's just that futures market can't allow me to constantly use my E here to poke the enemy and play the game of attrition where I'm slowly bleeding the enemy out just by being able to last the enemy in lane through through HP, through poking. So that I force the enemy into a bad base, right? In this game, it's mostly the fact that the enemy was ganked by the Hecarim or was killed by the Hecarim. But I like to think that even though they got ganked by Hecarim, I think that if I'm the Orianna, what I would think is that, okay, why am I bleeding out? Why am I taking all these E's early on? Why am I just getting chunked and I'm forcing a base? If you guys think about it, I lasted in lane and Orianna had to base twice, or was in base because she died. She came back to lane. I lasted for another 2 minutes before she had to go back to base. And when I came back to lane, she has Lost Chapter. I have Ludens. By the way, this play, I'm not sure what Ekko is doing. Ekko used her flash to try to kill the Morgana, but Ekko barely has any items. Maybe Ekko thinks no one has flash in this game but himself. And he burns his flash, burns his ult, comes back to die again. So I'm not sure what I'm not sure what Ekko is doing right there. He actually does that a lot in this game. I probably go on a rant on it. You can see that right here. Hecarim was trying to do 2 camps. But because I'm there, the blue actually pulls towards my aggro. And, we had a little shenanigan, but regardless, we got the blue. Before I go into the summary of, the laning phase, I just want to rant a bit about what this Ekko is doing. Look at here. I'm 4 levels ahead of this Ekko. Why is he thinking like, I see the mage. I can kill mage. Like, dude, you're 4 levels behind. You have your puny rocket belt, proto belt, whatever, right? The only reason you didn't die there is because I'm greedy and you're not trying and I'm not basing. I would smoke you if you try to fight me. Alright, you're Ekko, right? Oh, look at me, I'm Ekko. I have passive movement speed. I have a get out of jail free card. Ekko, please, you're 4 levels behind. If you see me, the first reaction you should be having is, oh shit, Ekko, Viktor's right here. I should E out and not E into me. God, okay, like that's just one part. Let me show you guys another part. So right here, I tried to chase the Jax who just killed the Fiora, but Jax has his Q, and I decided not to chase. And look at this, Ekko's like, hell, let me just get you. I'm 2 levels down. Ekko, I have death cap. You're not killing me. It's at this point where I decided to make my vendetta to just teach this Ekko a lesson where I'm just going to 1-tap him the next time. And I decided I'll probably go for Lich Bane. And I didn't actually get to kill him, but I'll skip to a part where I tried to. However, on that note, I'll actually just summarize what we actually learned, or what we can learn from this game. Number one, it's definitely that, again, I think Biscuits, it's not a bad rune. I think a lot of people, don't like it because, like, sometimes you get a lane with Biscuits in your hand, and, you rather have Futures Market. Again, I still think Futures Market is good. It's just that with Biscuits, you can see the power of me just not caring about my mana and just spamming E here. And just taking Orianna's health points little by little until she can't really last in lane. And even if she gets a gank from her jungler, we can easily take the 2v2, mainly of how low Orianna already is. The second thing is definitely, I feel like this is more like towards enemies where, like, if you're, 4 levels behind, you know what? For me, I'm not complaining. You can jump on a guy who is 4 levels ahead of you, or 2 levels ahead of you, or items ahead of you. You're feeding, right? But that's just one thing I will never understand. Maybe it's an assassin thing. Maybe it's a melee bruiser fighter thing. I'm out of words for it. I guess the final thing that we learn, at least in laning phase for this game, is that if we are ahead, for one, I didn't actually talk about this in laning phase, is that we definitely want to make sure that we have we have enough information that allows us to walk up to kill the enemy. For instance, knowing that the enemy has no mana, knowing that the enemy has no flash, having understanding that, oh, we have a ward in our side lanes, Hence, we're able to just, you know, be very aggressive up front in the lane and not get punished by it. So those are the small little things that we can, you know, pick up from this game. However, before I end the video here, I just want to let this like little clip play out to the end. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point the enemy doesn't really care. They're just TPing for fun. We're just trying to push for the end here. You can see that earlier I typed in, I need to teach this Ekko the concept of dying in this game. So you can see the items are just straight up aggressive. I have Lich Bane. I really just want to one-tap this Ekko here. I see the Ekko and I'm like, my guy, I will pop you if you don't flash here. And he does have flash. You know, I'm just learning from him. He flashes on me. I'm just returning the favor. The favor. But unfortunately, you know, Ekko, you know, it's a really good champion. He has a get out of jail free card. I wish I have a get out of jail free card, you know, but apparently my best escape too is my W, which takes 10 years to root some enemy. Regardless, the game ends. I know it's a short video or it's a short laning phase. Not much on the laning phase, more of a rant video. But if you guys enjoyed, you know, me ranting, hey, why not? Let me know in the comments. So regardless, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys help pick up something here. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.